Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Robb and Anthony's World Tour. World Tour, you say? Why World Tour? Because we have gone around the world finding music of unsigned artists. And here's the deal. We made it tricky. I picked an artist, Robb picked an artist, and then you picked an artist. And now we're going to listen to those music for the first time and give you our opinions. Well, first, Robb, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, man, it's awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really excited about this.
I know this is really fun. It was a journey. I didn't realize how much of a journey it would be, but it's not the easiest thing to just start blindly looking for somebody around the world that's totally, underground and all that,
It was interesting because, it was homework, but it was good, fun homework. Like digging into this interweb of people and music, and one night I got lost into the Polish rap scene in Poland of these this. I didn't realize how hardcore they were into this Polish rap. It was amazing, but I found so much great music. And the cool thing is, once we posted about this show, we had people reaching out to us about, hey, check out this band, give this a listen. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
So, you ready to dig deep?
Let's do it. Let's just dive right in.
So the first band we're going to listen to is actually one you picked, Robb.
Yeah.
The band's from New York City.
Yeah.
You want to tell a little bit about it?
Well, as far as I don't know a whole lot about them. Like I said, I was digging deep too. I probably listened to 40 groups, and the problem was, when you start going down the Bandcamp or Spotify hole or whatever it is, and you're like, oh, this band's awesome. And then you look at their listeners and they're like millions of, they're already kind of huge. They already got a label. They already got people. So this guy, I did cheat a little bit in the sense that he does seem to have a real small label, and he seems to be kind of blowing up in his scene. I think he's actually from, I want to say Staten Island. I thought that was what it said. But I don't know anything about him. I don't really know anything. I know he has several records and he's doing his thing and probably could blow up and do something much bigger because New York's such a cool scene like that. But this was actually off his, not the most recent record. I loved his most recent record, but then I was listening to one before that, and this song really grabbed me. So I don't even have the list in front of me. Is it Paul and the Tall Trees?
This is Paul and the Tall Trees, yeah.
Yeah. So awesome. Let's take a listen.
Let's do it.
I'm leaving her along the stuck, maybe. Oh, it's been about time, 'cause I'm no longer needed it. And with the way it's treated, I must have been out of my mind. Sometimes that shit could get the best of you.
Pretty interesting stuff out of New York, huh?
I would say so. So let me ask you, how did you find this artist?
Oh, it was a total. So when we first talked about this, I guess, dyslexia or whatever it was, I skipped the sign part and just started listening to a ton of Spotify bands, and it's almost impossible to find bands that you don't know on Spotify that aren't already signed and this and that, or big or huge or big in multiple regions or whatever it is. So then I was like, oh man, I got to restart over, which was good because to backtrack, I found like 10 new bands that I'm really into, and I'm really stoked about that. They're a little too big for what we're trying to put together here. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to go Bandcamp because that's where I put out a lot of my like side stuff and demo stuff that I don't, I'm not looking for a million followers there. I'm just trying to share with my tiny little cult fan base or whatever it is. And when I have a demo. And so probably a lot of other people are doing that. And so I started searching. And the thing about that is one will lead to another. Like, hey, I like this artist. Artists will say, yeah, if you like this, check this out. I'm like, that's pretty cool, but not quite my thing. But then they'd be like, check this artist out, and then go to the next. And then you find one, you're like, yeah. Then you go to them and you look and you go, oh my God, they have like, 176 people that just downloaded their record last week. That's just too big. They're getting too big right now. This guy, when I got to him, he had like maybe 12 people that had downloaded his record. And I'm like, perfect. That's great. And he sounded really cool. And I just dug it, Then I went to Spotify and found out he has a pretty good following there, though. So, I mean, New York, he's definitely a regional New York guy. And I don't know. I don't know anything about him other than it has a little bit of a Van Morrison vibe almost kind of to me, a little bit. Like, but 100%. Like kind of psychedelic and kind of like just, he's screaming from the heart, and it's melodic and it's just soulful. And yeah, I just really liked it.
Yeah, as soon as I heard it, like the piano playing, I just imagined him like playing and like I felt the energy. That was so, it's hard to find that, nowadays. I mean, there's people doing it, but it just felt like it felt vintage, like in a good way.
Yeah.
It felt like an old soul in him. It was beautiful.
I'm going to be guilty of that a lot, Anthony. I think I like the old, I like that throwback stuff, that especially when you find this little bit of psychedelic, little pop, little like, soulful R&B mix thing going on. I fall for that every time. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, what I really liked about it is I love the chorus. I thought the chorus was really spot on. It felt the energy. Everything felt like really, like it felt dirty. Like, and that's what I like about like rock and
gritty.
Stuff. Exactly. Like it just feels exciting. Like I don't like listening to music and that didn't feel overproduced. It felt like a one take raw emotion.
Oh yeah.
And it hit me right in the dude. That was for you.
Listen, if I was in New York, I'd go see that guy in a second, man.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, excellent. I mean, excellent choice. I mean, listen, first choice. I mean, you're making it difficult there.
Hey, I think you're gonna nail it too. Let's keep the train rolling.
Well, listen, I went a little bit further away than New York City.
I know you did.
Oh yeah, I went to Sydney, Australia. And
we had our notes that we had, and I saw Sydney, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But didn't you have two from Sydney, or was it just one from Sydney?
I think, you know what? I believe
for your future stuff, you're like,
no. Actually, the next artist, the fan pick's actually from Sydney, which is the weirdest thing.
But how strange is that? Yeah,
it is a small world.
yeah, right. I was like, wait a minute, how did that happen? Yeah,
it's crazy because when I was researching, so this is how I first looked. I'm like, weird band names unsigned. That's how I look, because I wanted to find like.
Wait, you just Googled that?
I did.
Weird band names unsigned.
And the first thing that popped up was first of all, it was this hardcore band that was like just spew. Every song was just like F this, F that, and I'm like, that's a little much.
I got a lot of that too. Yeah, I got a lot of that stuff. So there's and then there's younger bands that they're close, they're on their way, they're building, they're growing.
Yeah, but then I found this band.
Yeah.
Out of Sydney, Australia. They're smaller. They're on a smaller side of things. They're not real big. Maybe I think the whole streaming side of things, maybe 20,000 streams over 365 days. So they're on the smaller side. But
yeah,
I got hooked to their music. I listened to everything by them.
Great.
I really dig them.
Great.
So this is from Sydney, Australia. This is the Bedwetting Bad Boys of Sydney, Australia. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. Dude, I was not. First of all, I was not expecting that from a band called the Bedwetting Bad Boys.
Right. Name might throw you off a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I know what I instantly kind of went to in my head and heard. It was like sort of like this Replacements Clash-ish kind of thing or something. You know, that gritty rock. We talking about grit, but a little more, piss and vinegar to them. A little grit there. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, dude, and the lyrics, your plastic tears are drying on my shoulder. And
cool. I didn't get a chance to see lyrics there.
Oh, dude, it like I loved it. And see, I'm a big fan, so I'm a huge Ramones fan, huge Clash fan.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Dude, I love those quick, right in your face songs. But it's got like it reminded me of a very British kind of sound, like the guitar playing very British.
Yeah.
But dude, and I started digging deep into them, and then it's got this beautiful sound, and it's that is very popular over in Europe. Like that's a very European sound.
Yes.
And I love that. It's just so great stuff.
Do they have more? How many albums do they have? Do you know?
So from what I saw online, it looked like they had 4 albums.
That's cool.
And all of this music's on iTunes. So everything we're sharing right now is on iTunes. And here's the cool thing.
Yeah.
After every episode we put up, we're going to have a playlist with these 3 songs on it on iTunes and Spotify so people can go back and listen to it.
That's awesome. That's way cool.
Well, yeah, listen, in this world, right, there's so much good stuff out there. And a lot of it's unheard.
Yeah.
And these last 2 bands, I mean, you're talking about, Paul and the Tall Trees, Bedwetting Bad Boys.
Yeah.
That's great music right there.
It is. It is really good stuff. We're on a roll, I think. I mean, I loved your pick. And I think you reached in and grabbed a golden nugget there. That was great.
Yeah. Now, listen, we're not leaving Australia quite yet.
Oh, yeah. We have another.
We have another one. Now, listen here. This is what I find cool. Neither one of us have heard the song.
Okay.
So I have no idea.
I don't know about the guest songs at all. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So on Instagram, the girl's name is StonesGirl47 sent me this message. Hey, Anthony, just heard you and Rob are doing a show. I really think you're going to dig this band out of Sydney. I'm actually from Australia. The lead singer is a female. She's really edgy. I think you'll dig her. They're called The Wild Things. The song you should listen to is You're Something.
Good balance, too, because we needed a female singer to come in right now. We really did. After a couple of males,
Yeah.
So it's time. Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm ready for it, yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Raindrops lead me to see you. Rooftops lead me to feel you. We grew up faster than each other. Words started breaking through. You shouted, calm down over and over again. Stop crying over and over again.
Sydney doesn't disappoint.
Hello, yeah, my God, Sydney's bringing it these days. I guess if I was in Sydney, and it wasn't COVID-19 time, I'd be hitting the clubs because I'd be probably, you just roll the dice, and you're probably going to hear a really good band. That's what I'm thinking at this point. Like, what is there something in the water? I don't know.
Really, her voice was the first thing that really stuck out to me.
Oh, like right away, yeah.
Very rock and roll, but very clear.
Yeah.
And her lyrics were, I understood every word. It was very subtle. I was I can't put my finger on it, but she sounded like somebody.
I instantly I'm older than you, so I instantly kind of went to Pat Benatar when she was really young and had that spice going on, but like a modern 2020 vibe of that, a little bit. I mean, obviously the song's more modern and more, that, but it had a little bit of that 80s sort of like throwback coolness to it, like, that gritty old 80s stuff,
Yeah, her tone and her voice was definitely, now that you say that, very 80s. I mean, the music's very modern, but her voice really,
just ripped. And it was like, it just had this like lovely grit to it. Is that the theme of this particular show? Grit?
Grit. Episode 1, grit.
Yeah, true grit. This thing has grit. Yeah.
But
good choice. I mean, look, your fans are bringing it. I think right now, I mean, that's right there. Woo.
Wow. Yeah, that was good. So Paul and the Tall Trees from New York City, a little bit of Sunshine was your choice.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, it's more psychedelic, more poppy, and I'm going to bring probably more of that to the table. Your pick was fantastic as well. It had that gritty sort of just, punky, almost like, gritty. We've been saying that. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it's hard to go outside like that because grit means grit, right? That just
it really does. Like that.
What's another word for it? Like, I need a thesaurus right now.
I mean, I felt like it's like when I say dirty, I don't mean like go take a shower, but there's like that dirty rock kind of like it just you go there and you mean like when I think of shows like for instance like Bedwetting Bad Boys, like the one I thought of. I think of like going to a club, maybe 100 people in there, no AC. They're going to play their ass off for an hour and a half. Everyone's sweating. You're drinking a beer. You're having a good time. And you'll leave me like, God, why is this band not bigger? That is what that reminds me of.
Exactly
like Paul and the Tall, like Paul and the Tall Trees. That's the type of band like I would expect to see like almost like in a club with a stage, like a nicer stage with a piano, full band, and like maybe an older crowd that's really into like the older rock, like that My Morning Jacket, like My Morning Jacket, like crowd would follow it.
By the way, thank you so much for the suggestion to get in that new record. That My Morning Jacket record is fantastic. If you guys haven't heard it, definitely check it out. No lie, that is some real stuff right there.
Listen,
I've been loving it.
I'm going to tell you something. I really thought the new Pearl Jam album was going to be the runaway this year.
Yeah.
And
it's damn solid. It's right
it's
there.
It's damn solid. But there is 2 albums. One just came out yesterday. And it's from a band that, they were huge 15 years ago. And then the guitarist passed away. So then they reinvented themselves a little bit and put a new album out.
Oh.
But Secret Machines just put out a new album. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Why do I know that name? Is there somebody else involved that was in some other big thing or something? Or am I thinking something totally different thing?
Maybe. I'm not sure. But they had 2 big albums in the early 2000s, 2004 and 2007. And then unfortunately, the guitarist passed away.
That's a drag, yeah.
And they recorded a lot. So they brought this new guitarist in, and I was so worried about like them changing. No, Rob. I mean, this was... I listened to it and it was like I felt like it was the original band. They knocked it out of the park. It was beautiful, and I was just like,
in 3 or 4 words, what would you kind of give a descriptive words? Give it just kind of some
spacey rock music.
I love that. I love that. I love spacey. I love spacey rock music.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And then we get hit with their first fan choice.
I've had several people send me stuff too, but we already had we've got the first 3 months already figured out. Like we're like, okay, hold off. We've got thank you so much. That's rad. We're definitely, and we're you and I are just playing with this and seeing where it goes. And if it feels good, we'll keep it going. But we started with a 3-month plan, and that happened. Boom. Like,
I know.
instantly people are just like, boom, here's this, that, and the other.
Well, music is that big community that like always is given and taken. It's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
But listen, if you're
Right.
listening now and you want to get a chance, the playlist for this is going to be up on iTunes and Spotify. Those links will be associated on the Touring Fan Live's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter feed. So definitely check that out. Our next episode, we're going to be going to New Zealand, we're going to Greenland, and then we're going to Portland, Oregon for 3 new songs by 3 new bands. One picked by you, one picked by me, and one picked by the most talented friend that I know.
Awesome.
Mr. Robb Benson.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the fan.
No.
My fan, very talented. Pick one from wherever. No, Portland, Oregon. That's right down the road, right down the street from us.
Maybe you know them then.
That would be, Portland's a small, Portland's whole thing. Like, keep it weird, right? Keep it weird. We'll see. We'll see next episode, I guess.
So tune in next time. Give a like, give a share. We're around. Thanks for coming on this world tour with us. I'm Anthony. That's Robb. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.